Good morning. Wow. I have two things to say here. First one's a testimony, and the second one's a story that I knew about three people. Years ago, I used to live down on Lake Camelot, and down there we had Adams Marquette power, and we had electric heat and everything, so we had pretty good bills. And I lived there for like 5 or 6 years, and then I moved back here to Saratoga. But anyway, when I got back to Saratoga, it was a Saturday morning, and I'm looking at my checkbook, and I thought, boy, I don't have enough money in there to pay my tithe. And I thought about that. Well, I could just put God on the back burner for 2 weeks and wait till the next payday. But I had money in my savings, so I thought, well, the right thing to do is get the money out of the savings and put it in the checking. So that's what I did. And I wrote out my check and the tithe, and then lo and behold, Monday afternoon, now remember it's been 5 years since I've been on Lake Camelot, I went to the mailbox and there was a check in there from Adams Marquette. It was a rebate check where they had overcharged people for electricity. The check was for $90. So that goes to show that if you put your heart in the right place, that God can work with that and He will honor that. Now, that doesn't mean that you can be foolish and waste your money and God's going to bail you out every time, but that's my testimony about how just you have the right attitude about money and God will honor that. The second thing is a story that I'm going to change the names because of the way this works out. There was one guy, I'll call him Tom, and Tom could be okay, but he could be kind of a troublemaker too. And then there's another guy, we'll call him Joe, and Joe is a big, strong guy. And he had a niece, we'll call her Jill. Now, I don't know exactly what happened because Joe wouldn't tell me, but I think what happened was Tom either beat up this girl or he raped her. And so Joe told me, he says, if I ever catch him, he says, I'm going to kill him. And he was not joking. So anyway, here a couple months ago, I went to a funeral for Jim Ripke, and I'm sitting in the back, and I'm looking, and I thought, boy, I think I know that guy. And then after the service, he come up and he started talking to me. Well, it was Tom, and he was telling me about, he says, I've been coming to this church for like 20 years now, and he was telling me all about how he got saved and how grateful he was and everything. And I was just thinking, this is God's mercy, and He knows what's going to happen in the future. And I thought, boy, this could have been so different. Tom could have been dead, and Joe could have been in prison. And so don't be afraid to witness to people, even if you wouldn't think that they would listen. They may listen. Okay, thank you.